Patreon is great. Tonight's giveaway is records. The password is vinyl. Thank you everybody for watching. Stuff. That was the summation of it.
That was a good recap. That was a good recap.
Yeah, sorry that happens. I should have checked that before. I don't know why I could. I think I moved my mic around last week. There we go. Okay, cool. Now you guys can all hear how beautiful I am, and get the full Shadow Stevens thing. I referenced Shadow Stevens here, and no one knows who Shadow Stevens is anymore, and it really bothers me.
Aww.
That's a good voice, guys. Donna's like, we watch Hollywood Squares.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
All right, everyone. So, last we left off, the group had arrived on Sirius Station and they were there by the beck and call of one Anderson Dawes, the newly appointed governor of Sirius Station. You responded to his call. He had a proposition for you, a job for you. One that was, interesting enough, not the most he wasn't telling you to go out and do this thing right now and the ship's leaving. He was just telling you, this is going on right now and I want you guys to find it out. And because you all represent different interests of the Inners and the Belt, it would be best if you help us out with that. So.
Discreetly, right? Was the
discreetly.
word.
Discreetly, yeah.
Yes, and until it's no longer appropriate to be discreet, I guess might be the way. Discretion. There's a lot of discretion here. So, after leaving the governor's office in the upper parts of Sirius Station, where the gardens are full and the trees grow, you move on to the quarters he's provided you, which are about a level or two below. They're not like dingy. But they're also not like the regal royal, type of experience. Definitely something that you could see like a senior officer on a ship staying type thing, but not they're not having gold foil stuff like that too. It's just very practical. There's a small space to prep food. You've been given 2 rooms, so each is two per room. The rooms are set up where you have bedrooms. There are 2 separate bedrooms that are kind of tiny, but there's a common bathroom. There's a small kitchen area and a small living area and such. And you've been provided also a little bit of a what do you call it here? Like a stipend for food, so you can order out to the local food places, and Dawes gets billed for it, and they'll deliver and stuff like that too. So it's not really an issue. But yeah, there you go. That's kind of the setup, and I was kind of curious what kind of stuff do you want to engage in prior, or do you want to start your investigation? Do you have something you want to check on? What are we doing on Sirius Station today?
Should we go visit your wife, Donna?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Fancy dinner.
It's not really much an issue. Yeah, you guys go by the room, put down your bag, whatever you have, and stuff on there. You're noticing that the rules on Sirius Station right now for weapons is it's pretty much open carry. But you probably don't want to be walking around with a rifle or something like that, like a really serious weapon. Sidearms are okay, stun guns, stuff like that. But anything more open, you're going to definitely they're going to kind of frown on it, and people are going to look for sure. But you can easily get to, you can take a walk and go to the transit station to get to the commercial area where your store is. I always forget, Donna. Sorry, Myrtle. What's your store's name?
Oh crap! You would ask me that.
Or do we have a name for it?
I did. I wrote it down somewhere.
Or maybe while you're gone, your wife changed the name.
Maybe so. I can't find it. Where's my stuff?
Let me pull my map of Sirius Station 2 if I forget.
I also imagine our new place, just the flavor of when we got the new place. I would be like, oh man, I don't know about all of you, but I feel much better staying in a place like this. Those fancy things, they made me kind of nervous.
Yeah.
I'm okay with this.
Yeah, at least they got a bathtub here.
There actually is not a bathtub in this one. It is.
Oh?
No, it's not that fancy. It's got a shower and stuff. It's much more practical than what you saw in Londres Nova.
Yeah, this makes more sense to me, for sure.
Yeah. I just wrote it down as Cooper's Goods.
That sounds pretty good.
Yeah.
I was like, "Where's my character sheet? Why can't I find it?"
So,
I'm gonna do a shopping spree.
what was it called again?
Cooper's Goods.
Cooper's Goods. Okay. Very, very straightforward and to the point. So you guys are currently staying in one. I'm gonna have you guys around. We'll call it the Midtown stretch. Is where you've been staying, where your current residence is. And it's a ways off from where Anderson Dawes you met him up, and stuff like that too. You can go ahead and take the transit station really quickly over to the area of Camden Station, which is where your shop would be. It's a pretty, or you can walk it that way. It's actually not a very far walk, but it'd be.
Yeah.
Or you can also take like a cart. They have small kind of like quasi golf carts with kind of these weird wheels. That do a lot better under the low gravity.
Sure, yeah, we could do that.
How is and also let me get a check. I want to get a self-discipline, so a willpower check from both Myrtle and Wyatt. I want to see how you guys are dealing with the Coriolis.
Power, huh?
11.
11. Okay.
6, 10, 15,
That's good.
18.
All right, so you both get in here, and being under the spin gravity is not too bad. This area is much higher. It's closer to the surface, what we call a lower level. It's not one of the higher levels, which is where the Coriolis, you can actually see stuff like go sideways quite quickly. But yeah, you go ahead and you're getting kind of used to it, and the gravity's not too bad. And how'd you guys want to go? Was it cart, transit, or walk?
Cart.
Cart. Okay. You call it the cart, and this lady, maybe like mid-20s, pulls up and goes, "Where'd you go, boss?"
We're going down level. We're going or down the road. Call it a road in space
That's
station.
a road.
We're going down the road over to Cooper's Goods.
That's the Earth ring you talking. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Talkie, yeah, I'll go right there, no problem. And she and like you guys all get on the cart, and it can hold like 6 people quite easily. It's kind of like some of you sitting forward, so we sit backwards. It's like at the airport.
I feel like
more kind of rover wheels. And you feel it kind of going over the ramps, and the whole station is a giant ramp as you're going in, but it's very subtle at points. Where you can kind of feel it at other points, and you see people walking around. Like I said when we played last time, you're seeing more open OPA logos. Some people are now like doing different versions of the split circle. So there's like the classic like anarchy version that you've seen, but you're seeing people with a much more kind of like, we'll say, Art Deco version of the OPA logo.
More stylized kind of thing.
Yeah, they figured out how to draw a straight line.
I'm into it. Yeah. Onyx is like, oh, this design is good. It's very.
You're realizing the one you wear in your flight suit is out of fashion now.
Yeah. I gotta fix that, man.
Yeah, but it's kind of interesting to see, like, it's almost like looking at like designer logo contest, but it's like not official at all. But yeah, it feels kind of interesting. It's kind of an interesting precipice. I mean, the OPA you grew up with, even Jackrabbit, all of you also have known about. It feels like there's something different about it today, especially having you gotten Series Station, with the biggest station on the in basically out there. Period.
They got rebranded.
There's a new manager.
Yeah.
Hey, Onyx, I bet you could come up with a really nice design for this. If there's going to be so many changes, and it's kind of looking a little sharp, maybe you could come up with something, and maybe we could sell that in the shop, and you can make some money from that when we're not here.
That is a good idea. And I like take out my data pad, and I'll just start putting in weird sketches. You just see Onyx like working on different reworking logos.
You start a file. You start a file.
And next time we see Dawes, I'll show him a bunch. Just like, regardless if he wants to play or not. Yeah.
Boss man.
Boss man. Yeah.
All right.
So while we're on this cart, before, like last time I was here was all Star Helix, right?
Yeah.
Are we seeing any kind of like, would I see recognize anybody from Star Helix who is now kind of doing stuff here?
You see the the security
doing
force.
security?
Yeah, you don't see
Yeah.
like Star Helix, basically like badges, and you don't recognize. You don't see like the people on the beat that you kind of remembered. But what you're seeing more of is like I would describe as like OPA militia.
Right.
They don't have uniforms, but they have armbands. And
Right.
they tend to be also be the only people walking around. There's a few of them that walk around like big weapons, like rifles and stuff like that too. They're not, and they have them like slung casually. They're not sitting there trying to do it. But like as far as like if you see any kind of crime happen, they usually seem like they're more willing to talk it out before they start beating. Where Star Helix at times could get a little rough with the, especially the belters.
Yeah. So it's a little bit more soothing to me
Mhm.
that way because Star Helix definitely is a hit first, ask questions later. Kind of,
Yeah,
that
always
was kind of
hit
the experience, with some of the other belters, like people who have done contracts for us in our store. It's like it's good to see, the belters not getting harassed just for trying to do a day's work.
Yeah.
Just
You.
that.
The one thing,
Nice
the one thing
question.
you are concerned about Myrtle though is that because some of these guys are newer to it, you think that like they also might be easier to, they might be on the take.
Okay.
They might be easier to bribe, and there might be a tad more corruption, and also like cronyism with people. They might give certain friends more protection than others. We'll say.
Right. Well, it kind of goes with our perceptions and what we know of Dawes, and then what's his face fucknut over on Mars.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
kind of that, those deals. It's always deals. It's always the politics, internal politics, and some people get better deals for their
Yeah.
loyalty.
I know that Cretan guy, he corrupt. I know it. Even though Dawes said he fall in line, I bet you he corrupt. So
Hey, John, as we're driving on this car, do we pass any more of those explosion types of sites like the other guy showed us before?
In this area, as you drive through, you do notice kind of one off in an alleyway. It looks like they didn't. If it did explode, it didn't blow up the storefront, but maybe it got into like the back, like kitchen or like they didn't get it in the front door basically when it exploded. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
So, but it's not as
Yeah.
in this area. It's not quite as explicit. You're not seeing as like open storefronts going, and a lot of the attacks from what you saw were on the lower level, so basically closer to the surface, closer to the docks, where the Earthers and the Martians have a bigger presence. This feels pretty
imagine-
belter.
Oh, the littler one?
Yeah, well, this whole area feels more belter focused
Oh,
than
gotcha.
you go when you go
Yeah.
further to the docks. Yeah.
Imagine Jackrabbit sits up front with the
Yeah, sure.
woman who's driving the cart. She would just kind of gesture over at that, real casual, like being like, "Oh man, we saw another big explosion up top. That type of stuff. That crazy. You know anything about that?"
Says no, no one knows who's doing it. We hoping the OPA security force is on the task though. They Dawes says he's gonna stop it. He's gonna put a stop to this, but OPA gotta come together. We gotta come together. We can't be killing each other. I mean, I know it mostly Earthers and Martians, but I mean, who's still cleaning up the mess? Who's going to eat these places? Who's working these places? Even people talk about how bad Star Helix was, but Star Helix employed Deltas.
Yeah. What do you think of this Dawes guy, huh? You
Dawes
really
is-
buy all this stuff he's talking about? Built to love, we all do it together, all that stuff?
It says, he makes sure the roads work, the roads seem good. He makes sure that the air always distributed, the water always turned on. I mean, things have changed for that. It's not Earthers trying to, raise tariffs and taxes and, make it between the point where like we can't afford it or we die.
Yeah. I mean, I guess if we're gonna get screwed, we get screwed by another Delta, right?
yeah.
No, I mean, you could talk, at least, hey, look, if he drives the station to it where it blow up, he blow up with it, so that's good. She's like, on Earth, like, they don't care. At least here, if we start suffocating, he suffocates too.
Yeah.
So, as you come up into the area, you all of you kind of spot it pretty quick, and you can sense on Myrtle there's kind of an eagerness there, to say the least, where you're pretty stoked to get to this place. You go get back to Myrtle's Goods, and you guys can kind of feel the tension on in Myrtle's body, the excitement therein. The driver pulls up and stops and says, "All right, that'd be some you and which one are you paying?"
We all look at Myrtle.
I guess it's me.
You throw the cash down. It's not much. It's pretty easy to afford. And she goes, "All right, Docky," and she goes off to find her next fare. Standing outside Myrtle's Goods, you see a storefront, probably about maybe like 6 meters wide. It's a bit bigger than it's a storefront. It's not like a huge storefront, but you do know that it's from what Myrtle's kind of talked up, it's more about the trade element, kind of setting up the stuff here. But you can see through the windows. You can see there's some goods in the like a nightstand that's kind of a nice lamp on it. There's some kind of just like hanging robes, in the window. It's kind of showing off some finer elements of the store, and you can see the big sign. What kind of letters would you have Myrtle's Goods in? What color?
It would probably just be, kind of like a dark blue, pretty easily read font, pretty kind of standard that,
Comic Sans, right?
No, Comic Sans and not Papyrus. No Papyrus.
And when Anton Dawes came to power, he banned Comic Sans. That was his first move, and that's why he's a popular leader.
He's president.
No, it's a nice kind of it's a business playful font, we'll say. Playful business font. What Comic Sans is. All right. But no, it's a nice looking sign, and you guys can see the through the windows, and there's some doors, and there's kind of like a front to the place, but it's all open right now. Most of the businesses in this area seem like either restaurants or maybe clubs. This is not an area that has. If there are brothels in the area, they're pretty high end and they're more discreet. But you can see that this business, like I said, about 6 to 8 meters wide. It's not huge. It's not you're trying to walk into like a freaking Target or something like that. But it's a storefront. So, what do you guys want to do?
Go in.
Go in. All right. I'm
gonna wait outside and just look at maybe her camera system, make sure it's secure. I'm just worried if somebody's gonna attack her Cooper's Goods.
All right. So I have Onyx kind of chilling out, checking out stuff, chilling out. What about Jackrabbit or Wyatt?
I'm gonna hang back with Onyx just to keep him company.
Okay. So I got the two guys hanging outside, kind of shooting it, making sure things are safe up front, watching people.
Yeah, put a camera there, and I'm showing Wyatt all these places I would put cameras or things to help her security.
And I say to Myrtle let's go see this Sata. Let's make sure she's good for you, huh, Myrtle? I told you never trust a belted lady.
That you did say that, but I think that you'll like her just fine. She's lovely.
Do you want to go in there by yourself, and not have some?
No, come on.
I don't know. She might get jealous. You walk in with another belter by your side.
No, you're fine. I'm gonna kind of put my arm around Jackrabbit. Come on, and open the door.
Right. Yeah, you put your arm on top of Jackrabbit and kind of go on in and leverage her into your store. And you go on in. And as you come on in, you can see the counter where it's the same spot you left it. You can see the decorations and some stuff has moved around and changed, and the colors changed a little bit. Stuff you kind of expected, but it's different to see it in person versus a vid screen. But as you come on in, you do see it's Samli. Is that how you say it? Samli? Samilla. You see Samilla standing behind the counter, and she lights up when she sees you, and she rushes over and gives you, embraces you and gives you a, I don't know, how do you guys show affection?
Kiss, kiss,
She
kiss.
Okay. I wasn't sure. So, but she goes over and she kisses you, and you guys kind of have this moment. Jackrabbit, you're watching Myrtle and you've seen Myrtle kind of like.
Imagine I'm watching like this and just going like, yeah, you kiss that girl, you tell her hello. Oh, sorry, you two go at it, and then I just kind of go like look at one of the robes or something and put it on over my clothes. Oh, sorry, that probably make it dirty. Put it back.
So,
Sammy, I want to introduce you to my friend Jackrabbit here.
oh, hello. Hi.
This is our new family. Our new family. So you didn't know you were getting new family. But we got new family.
But everything you've told me about your adventures have been good, so I'm not worried. I'm not worried at all. It's all been good, and I've been kind of keeping up with you as much as I can. So, yeah, go ahead and put that on, please. We get those right now sewn up. There's a guy floating around in G's that's producing silk from these specially crafted silkworms, and they're making these fine robes. Please try it on, Jackrabbit. And she kind of looks at you for checking the name.
I don't know. This thing is made out of worms. I don't know. She's gonna put it back on the thing. That sounds a little weird to me. And what I want to do is I want to get a read of this belter woman. I want to lay on the belter, Creole, super thick. I want to gauge how belter is this belter.
Okay.
That kind of deal.
I'm gonna sit back like this and just kind of okay, because I can't. If you guys start going deep Creole, I won't be able to follow you.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna sit amused.
How do you want to trigger that on her? How do you want to try to open up the Belter Creole? What do you want to say to her? Fully? I mean, do you want to just call her Well Walla and see how it goes from there?
Yeah, no,
it's worked for you in the past.
It's not that aggressive, because this is somebody Myrtle likes, and it's a little bit more of hey, a little bit jabby though, because it's Jackrabbit. So she says something like, how do you feel with your girl being out in space all that time, huh? You get worried about her being there? What about you being alone? It gotta be hard, huh?
So she kind of takes a second, and she's like, basically tells kind of throws it out there that Myrtle and Sam, is it Sam Lee?
Samilla, but you just call her.
I need to write this phonetically for myself, so I can remember.
You just call her Sam. Make it easy.
Okay, that she it kind of explains to you that her and Myrtle met when Myrtle was still in the Navy, and that they got kind of secretly married on Myrtle's second time around to Sirius Station for some leave, or Myrtle's using her leave actively to try to come to Sirius Station, and that she basically had waited for Myrtle 9 months, year to a time. So she's it's only been 6 months or something like that. It's not that bad. But that's also that's also the job. That's just what we have to do to go out there and find stuff. She's like, come on, she looks at you and she kind of sighs. She's like, you're from Rock Hoppers, right? Yeah. The Rock Hoppers, they go out and they have to go out and grab some rocks and come back, and that takes a lot of time too. So it's no different. We just not bringing back rocks.
Oh yeah, but that's why I get some word. Sometime you not bring back rocks. What you doing with your hands? But never mind. Yeah. It's good to see this place, Myrtle. It feel like all the things you've been talking about.
Yeah, there's fake candles and really soft pillows and couches and fabric hanging from walls. So it's very kind of carpety, lush, kind of relaxing in there. So you can kind of tell, that the influence on that is probably not my influence. It's probably a combination of our culture's influence to bring this together.
Okay.
Yeah, I like it. Hey, I think Onyx out there, and I gesture to Samilla, and I point. I'm guessing there's a storefront window.
We're all tapping on the window. Yeah.
He really serious about making sure this place stays safe and it don't get bombed like those things up top. Are you worried
Oh,
about that kind of thing?
Yeah, the bombings. There's only been a few, and I mean they're going after places with lots of people. Most of the people that come here, we deal with through the network, and we talk to them. We set up trades and the like. So not too many people come in like just personally. But all the talk at the places, some of those places have people like a few dozen people die. So I don't. She kind of looks at you, Myrtle. She's like, I don't think we're in danger. Are we in danger? And kind of look at Jackrabbit, like not sure now, like being kind of put off.
Maybe Myrtle don't tell you that everywhere we go, we get shot at. We always in danger.
All right,
That's
Myrtle,
what
have
I
you
feel
told her
like
you've been
anyway.
beaten up and shot at?
No.
Okay. So she kind of looks at Myrtle and says, I thought something was weird. And she kind of she goes into Myrtle and she grabs you or by her collar and goes to pull it down a little bit and like where you have some of the bruising from where you guys got the shit kicked out of you on Mars. So what the hell is this? She's like looking
It's
around
okay.
and she looks outside and she sees like Wyatt and kind of realizing Wyatt and Jackrabbit's got a few bruises there, but it's not bad. But Jackrabbit seems like a bruisable person. Like a person gonna get bruised up, like a little kid that's gonna get bruised up all the time. And kind of looks and kind of sees Wyatt and can see she's like, what is going on here? Are you who's trying to shoot you? Who are you? Are you shooting them? Oh my god! She's like,
And this is when we enter, Onyx.
hey guys,
Onyx and
James.
Wyatt come on in the store. Hey, okay, I took a look. It looks good. Hey, how's it going? Hey, and I sort of break the awkward conversation.
So yeah, you go on in and you can see that she's kind of looking at you and she can see she is Samilla, is she from Sirius? She's from Sirius, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
She kind of sees Onyx come on and she goes, hey, this is you got a Sirius boy with you.
Yeah.
Ah, okay. I don't know this one, but I can tell by the way you walk. You're good on these. You got the legs for it.
Oh yeah. I grew up here in Sirius. I've been here a long time, but Myrtle, man, I've been going with Myrtle, and she make me a big art star. And I put my arm as I stand there, very proudly, and I'm looking around the shop, very impressed.
She kind of leans over to Myrtle and whispers in your ear. Myrtle, she's like, "This is the one that made that stuff."
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
huh.
I smile all my.
Yeah, and she sees your
With
purple,
your purple crow.
your checkered purple teeth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I want to grab her hand and just, kind of say back to her, they're all good people. And I believe in them, and they believe in me, and they believe in us.
Well, she's like, but yeah, I mean, but this fighting thing, these attacks, this is worrisome. Who did that?
Well, we just happened to get in the middle of something. It wasn't bad at all. But
Only
we could,
3 or 4 times we
Maybe-
get in the middle of
Myrtle,
something. Only
Myrtle,
3 or
look,
4
man,
times.
look, outside of game here, guys, I'm married, and I have a wife, and I don't fucking lie to her because of this. So, Myrtle, you can go make a deception check.
Yeah.
you don't get to come in my game and lie to your character's wife and not make a deception check.
5, 6, 7, 8. Perception or
Sorry,
communication?
deception, yeah, deception. Communications deception, yeah.
Communication. Okay, so that would be 8, 13.
Okay. She goes, it wasn't. This has happened more than once, hasn't it? She's kind of looking at all you, kind of taking it in. And Jackrabbit's sitting there smiling with her teeth knocked out. But she don't lose any teeth actually. It'd probably be Wyatt smiling with his tooth knocked out.
Swear we are fine. We'll have some dinner later, and I'll tell you everything.
Make a communications persuasion check. let me remind you. I don't want how to explain to my wife. I got beat up, but I won't talk about it right now. So it doesn't go well.
I got
Tell me
double
a dinner.
6s, so I've got
Ooh.
so it's 12. Let's see, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 24.
Fuck. All right. So yeah. So
Boy.
she kind of
give me
says she seems pretty relieved that you're here, and she takes a second and she goes, okay. Yeah, it's the middle of business day. I got some customers we got to talk to. Why don't you? She kind of looks at you. She's kind of looking at. She says, why don't you touch that up on your neck a little bit? And if you want to go on some calls, we could talk to some of the clients together. That
Sure.
might look good for us.
Yeah, we can do that.
Okay. So
But
she definitely
The
wants to
fish
spend
deal
time with
gone
you.
wrong.
What's that?
The fish deal gone wrong.
The fish deal gone wrong. We don't talk about the fish deal. But yeah, she's kind of, but her wanting to work with you and like do that, that's kind of her way of trying to spend time with you right now. And she has to run the business by all means, and she has like agendas. But she could, do you want to tell her like so she's kind of like yeah, she says, so what happened? Did you tell her about the fish deal?
Yeah, sort of.
Okay. Do you want to tell her?
Yeah.
So she's asking as well. She's like, well, let's get her mind off this violence that's occurred to you. Why don't we talk about these deals? I think you were talking to someone. There was like a minister on Mars, a fishmonger.
Right. Yeah. So I'll kind of talk about, like meeting the pastor guy, because I mean, some of this just the business deals I've talked about. So I just kind of fill in the blanks a little bit about, how we ended up here. And then we were on a run to get some supplies, and oh my gosh, we were invaded, and none of it's our fault. And whoops, that's how come we got into a fight or more. And but I'm just I'll be honest, but low key about it.
Okay.
And just like, we're fine. We grow as a team and we're able to help this, but we've also decided not to just jump in things randomly. And then we had this fish deal go wrong. And if you ever get any kind of fish deals coming from Mars, just say no, because it was disgusting.
You gotta take a
That's
second.
what they do. They use it as a front to get rid of bodies. That's why.
Yeah, so you're sitting behind the counter with your wife, like in the computer, going to have this moment, and then like from the distance you hear Jackrabbit go, "No, they put bodies in."
And you turn around and she's got like some weird like beanie hats with tassels on it or something that she's trying on as she leans in and then puts that back. Oh, sorry.
Onyx is picking his chrome teeth and he's like, yeah, like agreeing with her. Bodies.
I think maybe us two or us three should leave them be for a little bit. Let's go check out that bomb and where that bomb blew just down the road.
So you guys want to check out the sites?
Good idea.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's my way of like getting them away.
Yeah.
To stop making things worse.
Okay. So you guys want to check out some of the bombings. Okay. So the nearest site is not like one of the more dramatic ones, but it is one. So
I just want to see if there's anything left behind from.
Okay.
Like.
So it's been blocked off. There's like their version of like taped off type situation here. There's like signs up saying do not enter. It's been cleaned up and it's made sure to be structurally safe. You can see that they have like a support jack in one of them and one of the fronts to make sure it doesn't collapse, just in case. And it looks pretty safe though. Like the engineers here are pretty good. But you're kind of standing in front of this one bombed out storefront. It looks like it was a restaurant at one point. You can kind of see in the back, like the light kind of flickers, and you can see where like the kitchen was and everything. You can still see some of like the prep gear, the refrigerator, metal parts of that and everything too. But like, and you can see strewn about tables and I mean just some silverware here and there. But it's pretty torn up, and the blast didn't go that much into the street. Maybe like 6 to 10 feet into the street. But it was mostly like anyone in there was probably either injured or killed.
Is there any like residue on the ground that I can maybe try to analyze later or now?
Okay, yeah, you want to go over and take a look at. So this one was bombed like almost like a week or so ago, or a few weeks ago. So there's been a lot of traffic there. You can certainly try to pull some residue if you want to. Go ahead and give me a perception smelling check. See if you can find any.
Oh.
Or demolition, intelligent demolition. Actually, no, let's go with the smelling first.
Okay.
How do you smell?
First.
I'd like to also try to figure out where the bomb exactly exploded at, if I can tell.
I got a 9 and 2 1s.
Okay. So you kind of take a second here and you start kind of like trying to sniff around for like the different kinds of residue, and it's hard to smell because it's been here for a while, and also the air filtration system of Stereo Station would just filter that crap out pretty quickly. Wyatt, give me a demolitions check. This would be intelligence demolitions.
16 double sixes, 6 on the drama die.
Whoa.
You go up and you take a look, and you can tell that like it went off pretty close to the center of like the floor area, and you're guessing like it was one of like the patrons, like a customer type person brought it in. And what do you got on the drama die?
6. I got double sixes with it.
Yeah, double sixes. Okay. So
Double sixes.
yeah, if you want to pull a big investigation stunt here, you could do breakthrough.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay. Okay. Let me go check. Let me get that down real quick here. Okay.
Yeah, you're a real detective.
So you're kind of going through there, and you have a pretty big detail here of you think like whoever it was a customer. Unfortunately though, you're guessing also like either they walked out or they died with the blast. Okay. As you're standing there, you have Onyx playing scratch and sniff with the walls here. You see a guy with an OPA armband carrying a pistol sidearm that's openly carried. Come up to you, goes, hey, you guys need to get out of there right now. Come on, this isn't to play around with.
No, excuse me. This guy here, do you know this face? He Onyx Mundos. He's a big famous artist now. He doing some research for an exhibit that he doing. It's about bringing people together after explosion. It's a good thing.
All right.
Yeah, try to get some of this residue and make a paint.
All right. Jackrabbit, make a persuasion check with a -4 to it.
Okay.
You guys have a circumstance.
Deception?
Persuasion. So this would be communications.
Oh,
Maybe
not deception. Okay.
Yeah, persuasion. Yeah.
We should have just been like, we're trying to get something to eat at this restaurant.
Yeah, maybe you do believe that he's like a big time shot artist. Are you trying to deceive the guy? Or are you trying to like play up Onyx?
I'm trying to deceive him.
Okay, give me deception then.
I,
That'd be communication deception. Yeah, that's fine. With a -4.
That would be a 14.
That includes a -4?
Okay, hang on. Sorry. 14 -4. Yeah, that's a 10.
And so this guy kind of looks at you, and Onyx like.
Oh no, it is a 14 actually.
Okay. So this guy kind of looks at you and kind of looks back, and he's thinking about it for a second. He's like, let's just move on, guys. Come on. He's like, it's not a big deal here. He's like, I appreciate what you're trying to do here. He looks at Onyx. He's like, but I can't have people poking around trying to loot this place. Everything's already been taken out of the value, anyways.
Yeah, sure. I just sort of slowly like walk out. There's nothing. Yeah, there's nothing we see anyways that we want to like clues we want to take or nothing, right? Yeah, I just get out.
So you manage to kind of clear the air of this guy. Like he's not going to call it in and make it a bigger deal than it is. But as long as you guys kind of walk away right now or take a look around. That said, though, the one thing you do kind of derive from this with Wyatt is that like you're pretty sure someone like carried something in here.
Are there like shops that are still standing nearby?
Oh yeah. Yeah, they're all in like the walls and stuff like that too. It's not a problem. Like they're active right now. Like the ones next door to this place are active.
Are there cameras on the outside anywhere pointing towards this building?
There are cameras on Sirius Station. Yeah, pointing down the walkway. So yeah, it's all monitored. So you're guessing like if they would probably would have known who did this, something like that too. If someone did walk out.
Yeah. Is there a way are we allowed to like contact Dawes at any time? Does he want us just like completely out of it?
He's not someone you just call up arbitrarily. If you're gonna call him up, like you better have something really good to tell him.
I was just trying to see if we can get some of the security footage sent to us to look through.
I would probably say to Wyatt, like, are we not supposed to tell these people that we hear because Dawes say we hear? Like, maybe we ask him, maybe let us use this odd thing so that we can at least have access to things. What do you think?
Well, maybe
It's a bad idea. Yeah.
Maybe we bribe them too. Remember they said some of them on the tape because they corrupt. Maybe we could give them a couple credits, Let
The
them.
problem with that is none of us have that very, we're pretty
Yeah.
poor.
Yeah. I mean, once we get Myrtle back.
Yeah, but I think if maybe we go check out one of these things and see if they got cameras there too, if we can't ask for DAWs.
Yeah.
That's the boss.
Or maybe we could tap in the camera while we distract them, and we can look through some of the footage.
Actually, I like that idea. I'm good at making distraction.
Well, you certainly. So, Wyatt, give me an intelligence security check. Since you're the expert.
I'm not an expert today. 7.
7. Yeah, you're kind of thinking about like. I mean, you guys don't have an ace hacker to break into the security system, but like, I don't know, man. It feels like there's got to be a gap somewhere in security, especially if they just changed security forces. There's no way they brought everything from Star Helix over that quickly.
Yeah.
Hey Wyatt, why don't you get a job here? I mean, don't say we're supposed to like hang out for a bit. I can go get a job at the bar. I can talk to builders. You can get a job with the security people. You look like a kind of guy I wanna, that they bring on.
I'm willing. I can do that.
Can I also research this business, this restaurant, to see maybe why it was targeted? What made it besides just on the front being a restaurant? Like maybe there's something else.
Yeah, go for it. Give me like a
Can I do a research?
Yeah, you want to go research? Yeah, so you start kind of digging through like the old like menus and network stuff. Yeah, sure.
I just want to see, or just see like what can I find out about the business.
I'll give you a +1 on this because it's a Sirius station based place.
And what's that? Research intelligence?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do. Ooh, okay, 13, and I had a 5 on the drama die, but I could also re-roll for academic specialization.
Do you want to re-roll?
Yeah, let's do it. Oh my god.
You have to take the re-roll as a problem too with that.
Yeah. I got a 7. I got a 7. I did worse.
So yeah, the 13 would have given you information. It would have been a quote-unquote success, but it wouldn't have been a great success. So this place is called the. It was this like really kind of like. They were like the Italian place here on Sirius Station, and they were called the Grand Bambino. Okay. And like supposedly this was like they had like a lasagna that was solid. Their fake cheese was pretty good, like pretty respectable. Kind of place you take your family for on like a if you had some money or whatever it is for a very special occasion. Not really a Belter thing. Earthers would come here. That's kind of what you know from like when you're a kid. As far as like what's going on with it, and what did you get on the drama die on that 7?
3.
3? Okay. So as far as like when you were a kid, that's what you kind of remember. But like looking at the reviews of it recently, I mean, people were like, "This is like an Earther place. These are like wannabe Earthers. They should be just serving up red kibble." Like I went in there and I wanted my pasta served to me in a burrito form. They wouldn't do it. I think they're racist. Like stuff like that,
Yeah. So, somebody don't like Italian, but I think I found the reviews that definitely an extremist.
There was some hate on the place, especially like towards the end, and it was mostly Belters kind of trolling the place here and there, especially it being like a well Walla type place if you went there.
Maybe that's somewhere to start. We look at the business ratings. Maybe the places that we see some bad reviews or people saying stuff like, "Oh, they only serve Earthers there." Maybe that'll be a hint to the next spot.
Bad idea.
They get boned. Yeah.
Yeah.
I look up Myrtles. Actually, I look up. I want to look up Cooper's Goods.
Cooper's Goods. You go and pull up the Cooper's Goods real quick and on the public reviews, and they're solid. Like they're respectable. It's like 4 3/4 stars. Most people like it was a place where they got some gifts really quickly. Most of the reviews, you're guessing the people that they're doing the big deals with aren't the kinds that leave reviews. It's more of a word of mouth / I went to your house. Where'd you get that lamp? Oh, I got it here. It's more expensive gears like that. But this is more of like stuff like people buying like robes or maybe like a nice soap or something like that. Like, I mean, really kind of smaller items.
I immediately enter a 5-star review.
Okay.
All right. Oh, good robes, great place. I just start writing.
The review is awaiting though your you need to put in a validated receipt number to show you bought something.
I get it later. I'll save it. I save that draft.
So yeah, it's just in your drafts. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
You guys are kind of poking around a little bit more. Okay. What else do you guys want to do? So I mean, that's kind of like something you're thinking about there. Why is like trying to maybe like either like directly hit up security or try to get access to their computers, or like even try to hack into their systems.
I'd rather just go straight up and ask one of them. I mean, Dawes has given us permission to do a lot, but as long as we're quiet about it, I don't think it'd be a big deal.
Okay.
We also need to find the best Belter burrito on Sirius Station too.
Yeah.
Onyx, like, do you remember a place like lower down or in the upper levels, like towards the core? That's like pretty hardcore Belter area. It's also a Belter area because like the reason why the Belters like it so much is the inners wouldn't come down there because they just start puking their guts out. Like, it's a great place to go drink if you don't want any inners around you, because if they started drinking, they would just basically like, start stumbling and puking everywhere. Well before they started drinking, actually.
Yeah, I kind of look at Jackrabbit like I wonder if we should go places where the like hardcore Belters go, and we could maybe hear some of the conversation. Maybe we could hear the talk, or we could say stuff like, "Oh yeah, you see this one place," and kind of see if we can sniff the extremists out. But I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what I think. And maybe we look at some of those reviews like you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
We find the kind of things that they say, and then maybe we have a whole conversation where we make fun of it, and we can drink a lot. I always like that. That always adds good things,
So
yeah.
Why, if you're standing there, like that security guard's still kind of like, you guys are just hanging out. He hasn't taken his eyes off you, but he's not like eyeballing you hard, be like, get lost. He's just kind of like, you guys left the thing alone. He's cool with that. He might be the guy to ask if you want to try to like get access to records or talk to him a little bit more about stuff.
Yeah, I'd just start walking over to him.
Okay. It goes, what you want, Goyo?
Listen, we're working with Dawes on this. We're trying to figure this out like as low key as we possibly can. Is there anything you can give us that can help me? Is there any records you can show me?
Man, I just make sure no one's trying to run through the streets and get clogged up in the gutters. You want to head on down to the headquarters. We take over the old Star Helix.
All right.
You go look at any of the map. We haven't updated all the maps yet. If you go look at your thing, we haven't updated that yet, but you can see what's called whatever the Star Helix location is. That's where our base is.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem, man. He's like, if you're helping out Dawes, that's cool by me. He's like, worst case scenario, they tell you to go away.
Wouldn't be the first time we've heard that, and I'll just walk away right there.
Were we close enough that we heard that, John, or was that?
There's like people on the streets walking and stuff like that too. I mean, you heard a little bit of it. You heard the guy kind of having like he was cordial with the guy. You didn't hear any tones where it's like, how dare you ask about my work or something,
Okay.
But
okay.
But Wyatt comes back satisfied. He's not. You can tell he's not pissed.
Yeah.
What do you guys think about coming with me down to Star Helix for a minute and seeing if we can get anything from them? And then later, maybe you guys can go to the lower, but there's no way I can probably go.
Yeah. So let's all go together. That's a good idea.
Myrtle.
The other thing I wonder about Wyatt is, you worked in security before. If you were a part of Star Helix and they out of power, and you were mad about it, where would you go? Where would you go talk to your friends about that kind of thing?
I don't know. I mean, I know where the Belters would go, where you guys want to go, but I don't really know this station well enough to say where they could go and really open up without being a lot of years.
Would I know what a Star Helix bar would be, John?
I mean, there was like a police bar up towards the docks. As far as it like still being a Star Helix bar, it probably isn't. It's probably gotten taken over by the dock workers or this OPA security force that's basically replaced Star Helix.
Yeah.
As far as like you remember when you were like running Star Helix, I mean, as far as like Earthers or like Martians go on their force, it was maybe like 5% of their force was actually Martians. Even the people in charge of Star Helix were Belters. So like unless they were like well wallas, like, or they had suicide like a death wish, they would have probably kowtowed to the OPA pretty quick. Or they died like in the riots or something like that too, or were taken care of, and if they didn't play ball, they would have like kind of quietly tried to get off the station, or just sink into the cracks.
I'm curious too if when these places get bombed, what happens to the business if they give that space to somebody else? Like, does somebody else get that space, or the business come back?
It looks like right now, the businesses they cleared them out enough to make sure they're not hazard, and they're definitely like gonna get possibly reallocated, or that business went like under. Does it like basically like if they were like a Martian or an Earther business, their insurance will not cover them because it's not a Earth or Martian controlled station anymore. So they might just go away.
Yeah, I'm curious if we talk to the people who used to own it too, is see where they go, if they get pressure they used to get pressure to sell it, or because maybe they bomb these places and then make room for a Belter business.
That's very possible. Very, very possible.
But we go to Star Helix whenever you're ready. Just Onyx's brain is going.
He's got the hamster got on the wheel, guys. It's because you've spent over a day away from engine lubricants.
Yeah. I haven't had any
so
motor oil in a day. I think my brain goes so fast now.
It's amazing. Myrtle, so give me an intelligence business check real quick.
Boy.
We can get this.
5, 8. Which one was it?
Business intelligence or intelligence business.
Then that's 5, 6, 7, 8, 10.
10. Okay. So I gotta churn up for people here too, because Wyatt wants you guys to die.
Yeah.
Thanks, Wyatt.
Okay.
Too quiet.
What'd you get again, Myrtle?
10.
10. Okay. So you spend the time with Samilla and like with the business, and nothing really happens. It was nothing you really need to be a part of, but for her it was more about you being there and less about trading messages, but actually like the warmth and kind of like the camaraderie, working with somebody. And it does kind of pull you back a little bit to your time in the Navy, working with people at close quarters, and some of what you cared about. Some people you actually were like, oh, that person's cool or whatever it is. So that it does restore that element for you quite a bit. So this is going to be considered a relating activity, if you will, for interlude. You guys don't make any more money than you usually would, though. It's all the income kind of stays on the stint. So, Samilla sits there and kind of the closing the books for the day and such like that, and kind of looks at you and says, I thought maybe both of us could sell that one today.
Look at what?
Well, I thought maybe both of us together we could have gotten that pushed them up to buy a little bit more, but that's okay.
It's the way it is. It happens.
Well, it's just you're a little distracted because you're here. It's just nice to have you back home and such. What did you want to make dinner for your friends tonight, or do you want to go out someplace, or?
Yeah, I'd be happy to make dinner because I'm happy to be here with you, and then I can tell everybody to come here for dinner.
That's probably for the best. I'm a little yeah. I mean, it's and nothing against you, dear, but like going to dinner with my Earther wife and your Martian friend. I don't know. I'm getting worried about that stuff now.
Well, we'll just do it here. We'll do it low key, and that way you can get to know the crew.
So she's like, all right, cool. Well, why don't I have some in the back. I got some dishes that I was gonna get ready to ship out. Maybe if we could give them a good scrub, and we can still send them out. Why don't we bring those out for a special occasion?
Okay, we can do that.
All right. So why don't you go find your friends, and when you guys get back, I'll have all the stuff ready for you. Just send me a list of what you need, and I'll make sure it gets delivered.
Okay. All right, I will take off and try to find everybody.
Right. You kind of mosey on out, and you can like dial them up or whatever it is, and you have real time communications because you guys are on the station together. It's not an issue.
Right. I'm like, hey, who's there?
Oh
Who you
yeah.
calling up?
Oh,
Just
Party
anybody.
line?
Just like we're in our group call.
yeah.
All of our phones start ringing. Oh, that must be metal.
It like literally,
Hello.
those at home, it literally looks like that screen right now. Okay.
Except we're getting feedback from all of our phones, like,
Yeah.
no, sorry,
And
I
then
hang up mine,
like,
I hang up mine.
And then some jackass from like Theory's like, Air, Water, and Power's on the call for some reason, and you can't figure it out why.
Like, how did that even happen?
Fuck off this call. Oh, I'm sorry. Go on.
Whoops. Hey, so whatever you're doing out there, I'd like to cook dinner. So if you folks are interested in some dinner tonight, and maybe typing vinyl in the chat to try to win an album.
Sorry, I got a plug, guys. Sorry, go on.
Of course. Yeah.
But anyway, so I'm gonna cook, and Samila is, she's getting everything ready to have a dinner, and we'll just have a nice, quiet dinner with us, and that way you can get to know her, and she can get to know all of you.
That sounds like a great plan.
yeah.
We're headed down to the old Star Helix headquarters. See if we can get any camera feeds, anything like that.
Would it help to have an Earther with you for this?
Hey, it can't hurt.
And maybe we
Okay.
can pick up some stuff on the way if you need stuff for dinner.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we'll do that, and then I'll send a message over to Samila and just say, hey, let's just go ahead and I'll make some faux chicken marsala.
Do you want when you said pho, like, do you mean like pho, or do you mean like fake chicken?
Fake
Okay, fake,
chicken.
okay. Do you
But
wanna get
the marsala wine will be real, and the pasta will be real, but the chicken won't actually be chicken.
Did you want to get chicken that's a fungal base that's like tastes like chicken, or do you want to get the bean curd version of the chicken?
We'll have the fungus type.
Oh man, you're singing Onyx's song now. Yeah.
Yeah, it's got the more umami flavor to it.
Yes. All right. So you go ahead and you order. She orders. Okay, cool. And she orders these big quantities like that too, and it'll be delivered, no problem. Star Helix Station is actually not that far from where you're. It's actually on just the level directly above, like if you're directly below actually where your business is. It's actually not very far from it at all.
So I'll make my way down there.
Yeah, you go ahead and take you go ahead and take the pathway and the transit down a level, and it's not really much of an issue. You come upon the base, and you can see it's actually like you remember that last time you were here. This was a pretty nice looking place. Had a really kind of cool like artwork. You do have to give Star. However, depending how doesn't really matter how you feel about Star Helix. You got to admit they had a pretty cool looking logo, and they had a nice like metal version of it in their front office. That is gone. You're guessing the Belgians probably turned it into like a part of a spaceship or something. I mean, they use it for something.
Yeah.
And you can tell like some of like the fallwood paneling inside has been stripped. They're just having it look like a station now. But you can see that the desks that are functional are still there. And the station definitely does not smell as good as it used to, though, I'll say that. But
Well, yeah.
what does, right?
Well, you had the Earth Corporation keeping it all fancy and, look a certain way to make a certain statement.
You seem to remember there was like a sergeant or a chief there that was really fond of sandalwood and implemented like a sandalwood like vapor policy at people's desks or something like that. And you guys were at one point trying to like convince her to buy in bulk from you, but it fell through for some reason. Who knew? Because she doesn't have a job. That's what happened.
Yeah.
So but yeah, you guys can walk on up, and they're kind of running like a precinct. There's a guy at the desk there. He goes, welcome to security station. What can I do for you all today? Kind of look at you all.
One of the belters should talk. They have. I think we should just kind of be in the background a little bit for this.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I move back. I step back so Jackrabbit's in front.
Yeah, I'm suddenly like there, and I'm waiting for Wyatt to talk, and I look back, and everybody's taking 2 steps back. Oh hey, we got a question. The thing is, and I'm gonna like do a little gesture, like coming close to the person. It's kind of a private thing. Is this someone we can talk to who maybe can help us with some security matter? We're doing some for Dawes.
Are you okay? So you're telling like you know Dawes.
Yeah, and because Wyatt did it earlier, now I feel like I have permission to say it.
He as you say this, he's like getting ready to take down notes, but like maybe some bad happened to you. You start telling you want to talk to him privately. He's thinking like something like really bad happened, or you're in danger, and he kind of looks like he's getting ready to like look at you, like ask you, are you in danger? And you say, what's for Dawes? And he's kind of like, jeez, okay, yeah, everybody's talking about Anderson Dawes.
I don't like Koyo either. He has us. We're looking into some information for him. We're not really allowed to give you all the details, but we're trying to find out more about what happened with those bombings. We want to know if we can get some of the security footage.
Make a persuasion check, Jackrabbit.
That is, sorry. Why is my math so off in my brain today? 14.
14. Just so you guys know, in the chat, the churn got pushed to 10.
Yeah.
And I rolled for it, and you didn't get the event. So he kind of sits there and takes a second, and he puts his data pad down and says, "Give me a second." And he walks away real quick, and the data pad locks up as he walks away. And he goes over and talks to some other OPA, like someone else with an armband. This person's wearing more of like a sports coat. They kind of have a shirt, sports coat. They're trying to look more professional, but they're not wearing the tie and all that kind of bullshit, like the power suit or like something like that. He comes over, and this woman in this sports coat and pants and stuff like that too. And she has a sidearm. You can see everybody here has guns like on them. They're openly carrying. She goes, what seems to be the trouble exactly?
Well, there's no trouble at all. We just here because we're doing some work for Dawes. We wondering if there was a way we can look at the security cam footage of the bombings that happened.
Bombings, yeah, we've been looking into those. We've looked at the footage, and it's a little rough. And you say you work for Governor Dawes?
Oh yeah.
Let me
Just like you, yeah. You and I, we work for Dawes. We both had guns on our hips.
Equal. Jacker, what'd you get on the drama die for that persuasion check?
The 1.
All he needs. So she kind of scratches her head and says, and you just pointing to you are doing this whole case by yourself.
Oh no, man!
Yeah,
me and Big Pampa here, the famous artists, Onyx Mundo, Myrtle Cooper. We a good crew. You probably heard of us. We getting a name for ourselves. We do lots of good stuff lately.
You haven't actually. Can't say I've had the pleasure.
Well, you will though, and maybe maybe I buy you a drink later, and I tell you about us a little bit more. You know what I mean?
Hey.
Okay. Give me a. Okay, so you're now trying to like bargain with her or bribe her. Are you trying to bribe or bargain? Just try to be friendly about it.
I'm trying to like flirt with her to like get her to like.
Are you trying to flirt now?
Yeah.
You want to start going into your seduction? Because I know you have that talent.
Heck yeah. I got a seduction talent.
You kind of like. Okay, so you offer her a drink. You're asking her on a date kind of situation. What else are you doing in that regard? Because I'm pretty sure that just like offering to buy someone a drink is not the entire act of seduction.
No. Yeah, she just like it kind of started when she was like kind of nodding to her like pistol and my pistol. Like I'm a tough girl too. You know, we two tough Delta women. We should probably do something about that. See what happens if you put two tough Deltas together. That kind of like that's the subtle undertone to all the things she's saying.
It was a sports coat, huh? All right. So, but yeah, she's kind of taking it in and kind of looks you over and looks at the guy and says, "Oh, go make a communication seduction check."
Yeah.
Nice.
Because Jack Rabbit has like a.
I'm so excited about the doubles I just rolled. So that's
did you get an arousing result? That's my question. Sorry.
That's a 16, and then if I got some social attitude stunts, like I want to do the one that like makes them a 4.
4, okay. So you want to go with some social stunts, general social stunts, and with 4.
Flirt is definitely one of them. Against your target's willpower as a simple social role to change their attitude towards you better. So yeah, I want to do that.
Make your seduction roll. All of this is a seduction roll, and this is versus her willpower. Her self-discipline.
Yeah. This is so cool.
Oh, that could have been better.
Use some fortune.
That's a 12. I want to burn some fortune.
I thought you had a talent that lets you like re-roll that stuff.
Oh, it does let me re-roll. Okay.
You took like what was the talent you took? It was like
the talent I took it's a carousing talent, but if you fail a seduction test, you can re-roll. Okay, I'm gonna re-roll. Let's do it. Oh my god, it's the exact same thing. 12 with a 4 on the drama, and I'm gonna push the fortune on it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna push it up to 4. I really want it.
What are you pushing on it?
I'm gonna push it up to 4. So 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Sorry, I'm having math problems right now. That would make it a 15.
15, okay. So you burn the fortune, and you kind of like you start throwing some of the Belter's hand signals in there, and some of them are a little like you do in a way that's a little. There's an implied meaning there. I'll say there's an implied meaning there.
And I turn back to Onyx and I wink at Onyx like, I see what I do.
Yeah. Good job. Yeah. Good. You got it. She liking you. Yeah.
Jackrabbit. She knows how to push buttons besides just on ships. You know what I'm saying? Like, but yeah. Okay. So you flirt it up with her, and you go in for the flirt thing, and she's kind of like, yeah, okay, we got, why don't, look, she's like, I got another 2 hours of my shift. Gotta be, it sounds like you guys really care about, it sounds like you and your friends really care about this case. And if it's a favor to the governor, maybe we could talk about over drinks a little bit later tonight.
That sounds good. That good.
Yeah, and I maybe could fix the footage too. Help them.
Oh yeah,
you gotta take it a step at a time, man. You gotta take it a step at a time. You gotta get her to open up before you start asking her to like look at her like videos and like footage and stuff like that. Baby steps, dude. Okay.
Yeah, and I just say I hate to be back to business about this because while you working, we working too. So, any chance we can take a look at that footage?
Well, right now we're pretty busy here. Why don't we go out and have why don't you come back a little bit after hours and just you and me, and we can have a nice conversation, and I can see what I can pull up for you.
Okay. Yeah.
So what's
That sounds good.
So she asks, what's your name?
Oh yeah, I'm Jack Rabbit. What's your name?
She says, I go by Von Treese. Actually, well, you can Von Treese, but she kind of looks over the guy next to her that's working the counter. She goes, she kind of looks back and says, I'm sorry, it's Sergeant Biggs.
Oh yeah, Sergeant V. Well, thank you. Well, yeah, I'll see you later then.
She's like, I'm trying to think of something cool to say here. Yeah, she says Dakimana Sesasta means like thank you, little sister, or something like that. Like daughter, sister.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So you have it in. So she kind of sets it up that you can about 5 hours come back to the station. She'll meet you here and let you in. Like maybe like she definitely wants to talk to you more, Jackrabbit.
Oh yeah.
She'll probably be
Sorry,
thinking like the rest of her
Myrtle.
shift.
I think the rest of us are like
I might
watching
not.
impressed. We're like, whoa. We're like, yeah.
Myrtle, I may not be able to go to your dinner after all. Maybe I just eat the leftovers. Sorry.
Well, it's understandable.
I know. Earthers aren't the only ones that can fall in love on the series. What was the dating site on the show? It was I liked it because it said low gravity, no pressure. I thought that was
That's
pretty
amazing.
good. All right, so Jackrabbit, you have a date now with the sergeant of the OPA security force, which I'm sure comes with its own privileges. Yeah, Myrtle, you get the call back from Samila that says like the groceries are about to be here. You guys want to come over? I'll put some music on and we can chat it up, and I'll make it for a nice time.
Sure. I'll let everybody know, and I'm gonna head back to the house. So if any of y'all want to just come on by, I'll start cooking.
Yeah, we'll come help. Onyx is a great cook. He can help too.
That's certain ingredients.
Yeah, oh yeah, but yeah, so it has to be certain ingredients. Everything would be rolled like a burrito.
Yeah, no burritos in this one. I promise. But
Yes,
you can
okay.
twirl some pasta.
I only eat food if it's airtight.
yeah. No holes, no rips. Yeah.
It's gotta be in burrito or pie form. All right, so you guys go back to the Cooper's home, and you come on in and tell me about your place, Myrtle. Is it attached to the business? Is it like above it?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's
It's above it.
It's an apartment above it. You look at it, and it's like basically set up where it has like an overlooking glass that overlooks like the place where it like overlooks like the front of where the business is. And you guys have seen these like kind of inlaid apartments. There's a big glass partition which can be like set to like a privacy or an open area or kind of dimmed out for the light. The lights are going down the ceiling, so it's kind of doing the simulated darkness type situation. It's a one bedroom place. It's not overly fancy. Most of the money you and your wife you've put into the business, and you guys spend honestly most of your time there. But it does you do have fine kitchenware. I would say this, that the quality of the kitchen gear is out of proportion for the size of the kitchen.
Yes. Yeah, so it's like a more subdued version of like the shop, where we've made it comfortable and cozy with lighting and pillows and comfortable stuff. But yeah, the kitchen has tons of really great gear and really super good knives, and we both love to be in the kitchen and make stuff. So yeah, kitchen stuff is really great.
And you guys are kind of picking up, this is a common theme you're seeing in Myrtle's relationship with Samila, is that they like to, like, their intimacy is working in close proximity to each other. Whether in the kitchen or in the business, you're kind of catching on this nuance of their relationship, and it's kind of sweet. If you view it as sweet, it's sweet.
Yeah, it touches Onyx because he has no relationships like that, and seeing Jackrabbit and Myrtle today in this so far with these relationships forming, it makes Onyx feel a little bit of emotion. So he sheds a tear.
Which
Yeah.
he will.
Well, I mean,
he will use in his art.
Yeah.
Samila is very, especially with Onyx being, a series brother, is that she's very attentive and caring towards Onyx.
I feel very comfortable with her too, because Sirius Station, I feel like almost like it's a family, like we have history together.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
You might not have family, but you can get the feeling that this could be some family for you.
Yeah.
You know.
And as you think about that, Onyx, like when you think back to your conversation with Anderson Dawes and him talking about you guys all being Baratas, you're like, you think he's right. Like that rings true what he's saying to you now that you're kind of back on Sirius Station, or getting back into your old digs and seeing people and stuff like that too. So like his words now like weigh a little bit more on you than they did maybe like when you first heard. Maybe when you first met him, you're kind of like, oh, this guy's, he's a politician, maybe he's just full of shit. But now you're like, wow, maybe there's at least some truth there.
Yeah, at least that, what he's saying, that I can feel it more. Yeah, and I believe it, and it might be more into his cause. Yeah.
You know, because like, you know, our encounters have been to politician him, but we can, you know, we can feel why this is hitting, why it's resonating with so many people.
Yeah, maybe he'd do good. Maybe he's not all that bad.
Yeah.
So you get the chicken or the thaw chicken. It comes out in these kind of like rectangle, kind of like tofu kind of shapes, stuff like that too. But it's already has like the flavor built into it. It's really well evenly distributed. It does smell pretty good when you open it up. All of you, it's kind of nice having it cooked in here versus like on the ship or at a restaurant, because here, like Myrtle, you can control the air filter, so if you want to have this stuff linger in the air, you can have it do a little bit better.
Yeah, so we've got that going on, and you know, we've got our spice rack is amazing. So you know, everything that we do, we put just the right amount of this or that it's just, we want you to feel like, I want to be here, I want to be enjoying this food. You know, the lighting is comfortable. You know, it's almost like a setting sun kind of way the lights are right now. You know, to make it really, really homey and comfortable for everyone.
And she rearranged the furniture in the place. So, like, there's now you guys can tell the setup was there was kind of a couch and like a table and kind of like a little area to sit in, and maybe you can hold like 4 people, but now there's like 5 people in there, and she's kind of rearranged it. It's gonna be a little like, you're not gonna be elbow to elbow like hard on a ship. I mean, Jackrabbit, you've spent months in a coffin basically flying through space. Wyatt, you've dealt with like the military. Onyx, you lived in like basic scum linking stuff like that when you're on the station. Like Myrtle is your home, so it's not too bad. It feels pretty good though. But you're having a nice time. It's not as it's not as spacious as the galley on the Sinclair, but It works, and it definitely it feels less septic, we'll say. Yeah,
it's more that we're cozy.
Yeah, cozy's a good way.
Cozy together.
There you go.
Laughing, drinking.
Yeah. You guys carouse and take it up. She starts asking you guys about your past, and she Wyatt, give me an intuition check.
Nice.
12? Okay. You can tell there's a small tension between Myrtle and Samilla. Like there's something like she, you can tell there's a small tension there from their. You're pretty sure it's about the conversation they had earlier, and Samilla didn't get the answer she wanted. But she's also trying to put on a strong face because her wife's back, and it's only been like a day or something like that. So
I'm not going to push myself into that conversation. I'll just I'll just watch, and I'm not going to bring it up. Make sure the evening goes very well.
Okay. So yeah, you don't want to say anything like that. Jackrabbit, you're checking your watch once in a while. You got a little bit of time here. And the wine starts flowing. Is everyone drinking or?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
You guys
probably drinking a little bit too much, and I'm just like, I can't believe that having it been so long. I feel a little bit rusty. There's some things that you all want me to make sure I need to find out from her before, I stop talking about work things.
Yeah, do we have something like a bug or something we could give Jackrabbit to put on something in the station? Maybe like download some video files or something while she's there.
I would just straight up ask her for the files.
Yeah, that too. Don't get too drunk, Jackrabbit.
Okay. I'll be careful.
Yeah, Jack, you're trying to like drink enough to have a good strut when you walk in. Like,
Well, maybe you could leave the door, like fix the door so it's open. We can come in after too.
Well, maybe you just come with me, Onyx. You seem like you want to come and hang out.
Oh no, I don't want to get in. I don't want to get
Maybe
in.
she has a no, not like that. Maybe she has a friend, you know.
Well,
I can just tell her that you're
well,
back
I
at
can-
the station. You haven't been here a while. You want to see who people are again. You don't have any friends from around here that's still on the station?
No good friends. No, they all bad. Well, maybe, or when you having your drinks, I can look through the footage and I can help correct some of the corruption. They said they had problems with it. I could look at the equipment, help fix it.
Yeah. Maybe you come
I
with
don't
me
wanna
at
be-
first and we just say that. No, maybe that's what I just say. No, my friend came because you said that the files were corrupted, and I tell her that you're a genius at that stuff. But you better be an actual genius about that stuff, or you might mess it up for me.
I know tech. I know engineering. Don't worry. I won't corrupt it. And then, I could look through the footage, or I could just beam it to Wyatt and Myrtle. But I don't want to get in the way either. I don't want to be no third wheel.
No, this is just me doing work. This is how I work, you know.
oh my god.
Yeah, sure. Sure, I'll go.
It's a killing me here. All right.
This went weird.
Yeah. Oh, it's hot in here.
And Isabella looks at Onyx, is like, Onyx says, it's all so hot in here, and she's like, the stove's over there. What's wrong?
Yeah.
But yeah. So how'd you all meet? I mean, Merle told me you guys had a job together, but who was the job for? And on Tycho Station, I think it was.
Yeah, big Mormon guy.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's right.
working for on the Naboo project. Were you guys all? I mean, I know Myrtle's trying to get goods on there. That's a big contract you're trying to get. Were you all engineers or working on
no.
mechanics?
I mean, we do a little this, little that. Big Papa, he does security. I fly. Onyx, he fixes things. Myrtle, she does all of the weapons on the ship. We're a good team.
You have weapons on your ship?
Oh yeah.
Some,
Yeah.
a little bit, just in case.
I think we help him find some missing people. Scientists. That's what we do.
Yep.
Oh, okay. They had scientists go missing. Were they just lost on the station, or like? I mean, I know the Naboo's plenty big. Anybody could get lost in that thing.
One old friend of Myrtle's too, but no, they just they couldn't find.
Oh,
him.
one of your friends. Which friend was this? Friend from the service?
Yeah. Doc Savvy.
Oh, Siri. Yeah, Dr. Siri. Oh, yeah. I remember you talking about him and the work he was doing on Luna. How is he? Is are him and his wife, and I think they have is it a son or a daughter? I can't remember. I think it's a son.
They got a little boy, and so I went out there and I was hoping to see him, and then I guess he got pulled on a job and they went off station, and so there was some communication problems. So it's just like we're like, hey, can you guys all get together and go see what's going on with them? And then we found him and, got him back home. And, there was some system failures
and all the
going
scientists, they went crazy. It was
All
like
right.
they hook them up
So,
to
I was gonna
machines
have-
and then they start beating on us. It'd be crazy.
They're frozen in these chambers.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Yeah.
So I was gonna have Myrtle make a deception check, and now she's gonna make a deception check at -6.
Thanks, guys.
Like, I was realizing, like Jackrabbit seems like that really cool friend, but when you come home at night to talk to and have to talk to your parents to explain what's going on, you don't want them in the room.
All right. So I've got, what is it? I'm doing deception.
Deception, yeah. 'Cause you're lying.
I don't have deception. So let's see. That's 12, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 20 minus 6 is 14.
Shit, okay.
Oh,
Okay.
wow.
I rolled double sixes. So
Okay.
that was like that was a help.
Double
So,
sixes.
yeah, so you kind of like, Samila seems like she kind of looks over and she's like, these two have rather impressive imaginations. I'm sure the stories are much more elaborate than that, but you see, you managed to get, was just like a comma ray went out or something?
Yeah, it was something like that. We went to go find them and see what we could figure out, and that's what they wanted us to do.
That makes a lot of sense. I mean, you're talking about these scientists going crazy. It makes sense to me. I mean, a lot, especially with these Earthers, they're not. I mean, no offense to Myrtle or your Martian friend here, but they don't do so well out long trips in space, and going out to Tycho stations is no small task. It could certainly be a big shock to be on a ship, especially when you can't talk to your loved ones. I can only imagine. So yeah, no, I'm sure they went. I'm sure they went a little rough in the head there.
Yeah, well, we found some people that we needed to find and got ourselves back to Tycho, and it was just fine. And I'll kind of later on. I'll tell you. I'll kind of elaborate a little bit more.
So tell me
it's
about...
more that you can kind of get that feeling that it's like. I am going to tell Samilla things, but I don't want to bring them up in the middle of our nice dinner and relaxing, and I want to keep it peaceful and light right now.
She actually is convinced that it was just a normal thing to do to rescue some people with the ship. For that story.
Yeah.
Doesn't account for the bruises, but that story it's okay. And she also noticed earlier when she hugged you, you kind of winced a little bit.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of wince. That rib is still a little tender. But so she knows something's up there. But she goes, okay. So tell me about this ship. This is the Sinclair. Where did you get this? Was this ship part of a prize, or was it like did the Tycho station give
because all of the people that used to have it, they all got shot.
Jackrabbit.
I just keep eating. Yeah. Like, this is the flavor is distributed in this very evenly. This is delicious.
Yes, it was a prize. It was. The owner wasn't going to make it because there was an attack by some terrible pirates, and so we were able to make it out
and kill them.
Are these pirates the ones that gave you the bruises?
Yes.
Oh, no, that's this Toya, this Barata, this Sisata here, and I
You pulled the
put
pictures?
over the
You pulled
picture of
people?
yeah,
Okay, well, there was those
Slideshow.
people's, but we were given the ship because of the injuries that the captain was sustaining, and so she let us have it. That's the way it went down.
And these pirates attacked these scientists, and then and took out their comma ray, and you had to go rescue them, and the pirates attacked you too? Oh my god, that's so much. It's so dangerous out there now. I mean, I was so scared during the riots. I thought I was in danger, but it turns out you all of it's so bad out there. And now with Aero Station locked down, I can't even imagine.
Yeah, we haven't been able to find anything out with Eros, with their lockdown. So hopefully those scientists we rescued can help us, figure out what's going on. So it was good to get them back to Tycho. So I'm hoping that eventually the work that we've done for the Mormons will end up with some contracts for us to be able to supply them before they all ship out. But, they're still working on that ship. They haven't even spun up the drum or anything yet. So they still got lots of work. So we might be able to get some good contracts for goods.
I think they're another 2 years, 3 years before they get that thing headed out. And then you're talking the thrust it would work under, you're talking another 6 years before they even get past Uranus.
Right, exactly. So I think that we could have some good, short term, couple 2 years contracts to be able to supply goods. So we're just going to keep working, we're going to keep working those angles to try to make some deals because, once they're gone, they're gone. So we got to try to give them what kind of little luxuries or things that they might need.
I will admit that was a good perception. The selling things to the Mormons on the Nauvoo you can only sell to them for so long, till they're long gone. But then again, where they're going, they don't need money.
Exactly. So let's, it's not like they're all gonna just go off to space and be dead, but it'd be nice to supply them some good for their generations that are going to keep going, and just our name will keep going on there.
She kind of looks over at Jackrabbit and says, Jackrabbit, you seem, I've heard you're a little jumpy, but you seem a little eager. Are you perhaps late for an important date?
Oh, am I? And I look, am I late?
Not yet, but you can certainly catch a ride up there.
I gotta go. And she picks up the last of her drink, like drinks the rest of the wine, picks up Onyx's, drinks that too, puts that down.
With a handful of chicken curry in my pocket and go.
Onyx, you want to come and see if you can fix the thing?
Yeah. I roll up the food into like the best burrito form I can, and I put that in. And
all right.
Drink my motor oil, and I go with Jackrabbit.
Okay. All right. Wyatt, it looks like the two doggos are going to take off and try to like mess with the station. Do you want to do that? Do you want to do anything with that, or?
I'm going to follow them, but I'm going to stay outside.
Okay. I mean, you guys can catch a tram together and just like, and then get off the tram and like just you only partially walk to the place and let them go off.
Yeah.
All right.
I'll stay outside just in case.
What does Myrtle want to do? Your wife is definitely concerned. More so.
I'm actually going to stay behind, and we'll do cleanup and get everything settled, so we can get ready for the work day tomorrow. And sit down. We'll sit down with some port and have some longer conversations about what we've been doing out there.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll let you figure that out. We'll figure that out, and like how much you're going to tell her, because that will certainly affect her disposition. We'll say. I really didn't realize tonight we're gonna be like simulating marriage, because that's what it is. Is don't lie to them, guys. It sucks. And then don't lie to them and bring your friends around and not tell them that you're lying to them. But hey, what would be a dinner party without drama? All right, so the other three, you guys roll out through and go up to the section that starts like not very far. Wyatt, you kind of take your time and kind of mosey on out, taking it in. One thing you've assessed is, after being on Palace Station, is you actually think this place might be under better control than it was probably beforehand, or at least people are less likely to try to be resentful and cause trouble. So it's kind of a mixed bag. You think the security might be playing favorites, and they also just might be, gangsters with guns, but they're also the actual criminals are going to be less likely to be trying to do rowdy stuff and might have better opportunities. So it's kind of a mixed bag. You're not sure what to make of it yet, though.
Okay. Is there like a bench outside the building?
Oh yeah, there's like parkways. You can see there's like planters and stuff like that. People have like adopted sections of it where they're growing plants to help out with the air filtration and stuff like that too. So yeah, for sure, you can kind of stroll and just hang out and not look weird.
And as they're walking away from it, I'll be like, if you need anything, just give me a call.
Yeah.
And you guys can queue up your if you want to have like a secret word. For your terminal, your hand terminal, to basically dial him real quick or send him a little message or
vinyl.
The word tonight is vinyl, guys. I need to remind you all the chat here. There it is. Nice plug, sir. Yeah. I can see why Van's like you.
We should work it in every time. We should just try to work it in.
All right. So where are you gonna stand? So we have Wyatt kind of across the yard, across the walkway, just keep an eye on the building in general, take it real casuals and enjoying himself, and the like. What about you, Onyx? Do you want to go in? Do you want to like hang outside directly out the door?
Yeah, I'll wait until Jackrabbit meets her friend, and if it goes good, and then she said it okay that I can come look at the footage, I'll wait for her to give me the signal.
Jackrabbit, you walk up to the door and the door's shut and locked. Okay, and they have like a kiosk there, like if you have an emergency, you can call that or whatever it is. But when you walk in the door, normally a place like this would be open 24/7, but like you're guessing they're not as well staffed or they're not as disciplined as all. But when you walk up, you actually see you see the what's her name? Vontrice. You see her kind of walk up to the thing, and she kind of busts out her card and opens the door and says, "Oh, I'm so glad you made it. Come on in. Let's get in here before anybody starts trying to come on in themselves."
Okay. Hey, I got a question. You said that the footage was kind of grainy.
Oh, it's not that it's grainy. It's just kind of we're not sure who some of these people are on it. They're not showing up in the records too easily.
It's sorry, John. This is just me like trying to wrap my brain. So it's not like we need Onyx now for tech stuff,
No.
or is it?
No, but she can pull the footage and show you it if you want to.
Oh yeah, let's take a look. And I just look over at Onyx and I just shrug and I walk in.
Okay.
Go
All right. So she goes on in, and as you kind of come on in, she has like she has like a desk set up there. It's like she takes you a little farther back into her office, and you can tell the office has been like disturbed recently. Like there's been some new stuff done to it. It's not remodeled, but it's been demodeled, we'll say. And she has her console there and kind of brings up and logs on in and says, well, hold on real quick before we get started. Why don't we there's that drink we were gonna have together, and kind of like reaches into this little refrigerator and pulls out like a pair of beers, like some bulbs of beer.
That's a good choice.
And it's like series beer. It's actually like a locally brewed. So she pulls that out and says, cheers, let's see what we can find here.
Yeah, she does the little cheers and kind of leans in a little bit like more than she really needs to like look at the whatever the monitor is that they're looking at together. And she says,
starts swiping through it.
Whenever Star Helix, and she just like while the thing is loading, she just says, were you here whenever Star Helix kind of did their turn thing? Were you part of Star Helix and now part of this new security?
No. This is I've been working with Anderson Dawes, some of his detail for a while. I was always kind of just lurking around the distance from him, but you know, I believe in what he has to say and what he has to say about the Beltas and people and such, and he's making it happen now. And I mean, instead of just being someone being a lookout for a guy like that, now I have a real job and I'm in charge of people and helping them out and helping our people. So it feels good.
It must have been a crazy transition for the
those riots when the camp got destroyed. That was bad. You know, we owe James Holden, who's a hero. He tell everybody what really going on. I still think it's the Martians that blew it up, but you know, he's not so sure.
I tell you what, I don't like that planet. I believe it might be them just because their planet, it's like a crazy place, man.
Have you been to Mars? You go that far? That far from the sun?
Oh yeah.
What?
Just got back from there.
She said, "What is it like going down the well?"
Going down the well?
Yeah, like going to the gravity well, like going down to gravity.
You know, it kind of like when you drink too much, and then the world is spinning. And you're on your bed and you have to put your foot on the ground just to make sure your head's still attached to your body, you know?
That's pretty good. I like that one. Go ahead and give me a persuasion check, Jackrabbit.
Oh boy, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13.
13? What'd you go on the drama die?
Yeah. 2.
2. I'm gonna give you a +1 on the drama die, but all right. So she's kind of like liking your stories and is actually really intrigued by that you've been around and stuff like that too, and you're a pilot. And she goes, okay, let me pull the footage. You pull the footage here, and she's like, this is the one, the most recent one that we had the storefront have a good camera on, and you basically see like the explosion come out, and you can see some people walking out of it. They're pretty busted up, and people are panicking, and then within about 45 seconds of it, you start seeing security show up, and they have guns drawn, and they're ready to help out people, and so they're trying to help people out. So that too, and you definitely see the Belters coming together to help people out. Even though like these were like Earth-based businesses and Martian-owned businesses, the Belters still show up to help anybody there. And you can see people are, she's like, that's pretty much it. As far as this is the people we had walk in, and she kind of pulls up a list here, and she goes through these elements here. There's some people that came on in there, but they're not. The thing is, like, we wouldn't go look them up in the records, and they're no longer there.
What do you mean? Like somebody went in and wiped them out?
That or they got past security. but we have no records of them. I don't know if they were either there was a gap in there because of the transition from Star Helix, or they're new to the station, or what. But it could be outsiders. But there's also some people that just slip through the cracks.
Yeah, do you mind if I take some of these pictures so I know who to look for?
She goes and takes the file, and she goes, yeah, we've shown this one around a bit, but I'll make sure you have the full uncut version, takes it and throws it over to your data terminal.
Yeah, and I immediately just flip those to Wyatt and Onyx.
Okay, and you guys both get the ping and see the same footage. And you're kind of looking at it. Give me Onyx, give me a intelligence investigation check. Actually, perception scene. Give me perception scene when you're looking at the footage.
Okay. I was gonna say, yeah, maybe as a fringe, I know some of these people off the. Maybe not. Let's see. And 9, 10. I'm gonna use some fortune.
Okay.
And I'm just gonna push it up to a 15.
And remember, the Dromedai costs twice as much fortune to push up.
Yeah. I'm gonna push up the other ones.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what'd you get on the Dromedai?
2.
2? Okay. So yeah, you kind of dig through, you look at it, and one of the guys on there, you think you recognize him. Like you're not. You think you've seen him maybe on series before, from way back, but like you can't place like where on series you saw him, but you're pretty sure he's from series.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Maybe someone you ran with when you were younger. You maybe saw him at a party or something like that, or you guys were running from the cops together or something like that. But like you don't have a name offhand. But you're like, this guy I'm pretty sure is from series. He's a local.
Okay,
Definitely a belter.
I circled that one. I crop it, and I think maybe that's something I could show to Cretan even, or maybe I get a hold of Vaxel, my old friend, and I send that to him and say, hey, you know this? Hey, you recognize this belter? I'm looking for him. And I send that over to Vaxel before not Cretan yet.
Digging. So she shows you that one. She goes and shows an air bombing, and she goes, this one though here, and she goes, this is the first bombing, and pulls some footage from it. This one, it looked like one of the members tried to like damage the camera. And you can kind of see the camera being roughed up, but it didn't go offline entirely. I think they didn't sever the wires entirely. But here you can spot, we spotted, unfortunately the camera's off angle, and you can only see this person's face right here. That one, we did get a positive ID on. It is one, look here, go with that's one Bertram Bodkin. And he's got some past relations with OPA. Specific, but we think he's part of a extremist sect. Suspected.
You try to talk to him already?
Well, that's kind of been the problem. Is we think a lot of them are hanging out down or up the levels towards the core.
Oh yeah.
And the issue right now is that Anderson Dawes is asking us to keep the peace up here, keep a good front. I don't think he wants anybody knowing doesn't want anyone knowing what's going down bad there, so he's keeping all the security details on the upper levels.
Oh yeah, that's why he bring us in, I say. And then I like lean over and I like swipe the picture to my own thing, like that kind of way where it's like kind of in her space a little bit. Sorry, I hope it's okay that I take that.
As you lean in on her, she like kind of goes to make a pass. You see her arm kind of come in around your torso a little bit. Not like she's not trying to nothing like terribly inappropriate, but I don't know how you feel about her trying to be more intimate with you.
Oh yeah, that was the goal. And I also will just say, like, it's been a really long time since anybody's made any affectionate gesture to Jackrabbit. So, yeah, she's leaning into that.
Okay.
Yeah. So she says that's why we're in here. You know. Can I just ask you one more thing?
Yeah.
You think that's somebody trying to mess with Anderson Dawes? You know, I mean, he seemed like an easy man to mess with. This message he's spreading about people coming together. It's something I mean, I wanna believe it. I just never seen anything like that ever happen. So that kind of hope it make people crazy. You know, they react against it.
Give me a persuasion check. Persuasion test, sorry.
15.
15. What do you have the drama die?
5.
Perfect. She kind of says, I think it looks... That first one that happened, I think that was expected. We had been briefed on that kind of stuff going to happen. You know? People not happy about the new leadership. There's always someone who thought they should be in charge. But it kept on happening. And I think at this point, it's a big pot. It's a bunch of curry on Dawes' face. Don't look good for him. I would never tell him that. And I wouldn't say that to my troops, but I think it's embarrassing for him, and I think that he's trying to keep it on the lowdown. But that's why he don't want to make it seem like he's weak. Like he put all his forces on these guys, who these people are. And also, you know, if you go after them like direct, he validates them. He shows that he doesn't believe in the OPA dream that we all Baratas. You know.
Yeah.
So I get it, but you know, it's definitely been worrisome. But yeah, it's you know, but don't, you know, we don't have to. I don't think the people of Sirius have to be worried. I think they're going to be safe. I think I'm going to keep them safe. I think people like you are going to keep us safe, and I think that's what Dawes is saying. Is if we believe we're going to keep ourselves safe, if we do try to keep ourselves safe, we'll be safe. It's just some people are going to mess it up for us on the way in.
You know, not that long ago, I used to think that nothing mattered. You know, it don't matter where you wake up. It don't matter if you die. It don't matter what you do. That's what it like growing up in the Delta, especially out on Aero Station. I don't want to talk about what happening out there, but I only got one person in the world. She out there now. I got one other friend. That's it until I met this crew, and suddenly I got this purpose. I meet someone like Dawes. It tastes so good. I think it make me sick. You know, like when you eat something that's so rich and you eat it too much. I kind of just feel a little worried about that.
Says, well, you know, it's important to be around people you care about and you can trust, and I'm hoping she kind of takes a second, she has her arm around you, I'm hoping maybe this could be something we trust.
Oh yeah. And I feel like this is a fade to black.
Yeah,
moment,
we'll say
right?
fade to black. We'll go with that one.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure. I'm totally cool with that.
Meanwhile, Onyx and we're sitting on the bench together.
He's like, I'm not sure is she alive? I'm not sure she's alive.
Yeah. Me and Wyatt
He's like, what's going on there, guys?
I lean on Wyatt's on the bench.
Yeah, so you go over to Wyatt. One thing though is right before you do manage, so before we fade to black, Jackrabbit, that you do grab the details on this guy, this name that she gave you, and you use this Bertram Bodkin, and you do send him over to Wyatt and Onyx. So Wyatt and Onyx.
I would probably send it with some emojis that are just like big eyes.
Yes.
And then like kissy face, and then like bye.
Yeah.
Sign.
Yeah, it's an emoji going like this.
Yeah, exactly.
So you guys get this thing up, and Wyatt, you go and try to check this guy out real quick. Give me a quick investigation check real quick. Or a research test. You're actually both. Why don't we have Onyx, you do research, and Wyatt, you do investigation on him.
Perfect, because then I can reroll the research. Oh yes. Okay.
16.
16.
And research is what? Intelligence, right?
Yeah.
Okay. 13 and a 6 on the drama.
So you guys both kind of dig in this guy and come to a pretty similar conclusion. You're pretty sure he's Voltaire Collective. So he's an extremist group and a member, and you're thinking if you can find this guy, you might have a trace on who's messing with Dawes. And right now, the number one, this Voltaire Collective, it kind of makes sense. They wanted power, Dawes got it, and they still want power. So, all right.
I'll die too.
No problem. All right, guys. that's gonna call a session tonight. I think that's a good place to end.
That was good.
Everybody got something they wanted.
Heyo!
That was like a relationship
It was a good
episode.
meal.
I like it. Yeah.
It was definitely a relationship episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good though. We need those.
Yeah,
And
that was
it was
cool.
good kind of. I also just enjoyed exploring the station and kind of the aftermath of the fall of Star Helix and the change of management, we'll say, and the like.
Yeah.
Everybody out there, thank you. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead real quick. Last chance to enter the giveaway. There's the details. Please type vinyl into the chat, and you will be entered to win the vinyl record here. I got them right here. And I'll make sure to get that out to you ASAP. In addition, please, the best way to support us, guys, is our Patreon and bonus episodes. You want to hear about everyone's kind of backgrounds, kind of understands a little more about Onyx and his precarious relationship with Sirius Station. Myrtle, Wyatt, Jackrabbit, they all got a background, they all have a story, and we've told them elsewhere also, but we're going to continue to tell them, have them here. Yeah, thanks everybody for jumping in here. Let me go ahead, I'll pull the giveaway real quick.
Oh, yeah.
There it is. We got a few entries, last chance. And yeah, you know what, it's still worth it. Well, that's cool. I'm glad you guys enjoyed the show. That was a good one. So, here we go. I'm going to go and pull a winner. And our winner is Roaming Ale. Roaming Ale won tonight. Thank you very much. I'll get you the record and the thing. I will go ahead and get your information.
Nice.
I'll message you after the stream, and we will go ahead and get that. Thank you. Very cool. Everybody, we're going to be back next week on Wednesday too. We got another episode and some other giveaways. We got some patches to give away that time. We're continuing our thing too. If we get the 100 subs, we're 34 out of 100. That's not bad. Give this guy away to somebody. You might win this and some other stuff too. And then on the 29th, I think it is, we have Adam Bradford from D&D Beyond and Dining Plan's going to be joining us. He has the layout. It'll be fun. And we're also getting ready to announce our October guests. I've been making the characters with them. They're pretty fun. There's going to be a theme. There's a theme in October of guests, and you might be able to get some hints of that if you follow us on social media and the like too. But thank you everybody for watching. We're gonna go ahead and rate a channel and such too, and catch you guys next week. See you later.
Raid.
Welcome, Lola.